There is a kind of familiarity so deep, it hurts. It's that moment when you've dragged yourself through a long day, looking forward to sleep as a well-deserved reward. But when everything around you is finally quiet, when you've laid down, pulled the blanket up to your chest, turned off the lights, and closed your eyes, sleep simply doesn't come. Instead of deep slumber, you are caught in an endless loop of tossing and turning, quiet sighs in the dark, subtle shifts as if trying to find a position that would let you disappear from today. And then morning comes. You wake up with a heavy body, a foggy mind, calves that have gone numb from a poor sleeping posture, or a back aching from not sleeping deeply. You sigh, starting a new day with the same weariness, as if rest never truly arrived. If this is happening to you, you are not alone. Many older adults, especially after the age of 60, begin to experience insomnia or shallow sleep. It doesn't just affect your mood. It weakens your immune system, increases the risk of high blood pressure, contributes to mild depression, and slows down memory over time. But here's something fascinating that not many people realize. Sometimes the problem isn't your age. It's not that you're too old to sleep well. It's that your body is lacking the natural sleep-inducing substances, hormones like melatonin, serotonin, or nutrients like magnesium, tryptophan, which help regulate your sleep and keep your internal biological clock in rhythm. And here's the good news. You don't need medication to get these. They can come from your everyday food. That's right. Deep, natural sleep can begin with what you eat, especially what you eat in the evening. Picture this. It's late afternoon and you step into your kitchen. You don't need to search for some miracle pill or overhaul your entire diet. All you need to do is add a few familiar foods like kiwi, tart cherries, almonds, or a small bowl of oatmeal to your dinner, or as a light pre-bedtime snack. These foods don't just taste good. They quietly go to work inside you, encouraging natural melatonin production, keeping blood sugar steady overnight, relaxing your nervous system, and guiding your body back to its natural rhythm. They don't knock you out like medication. They gently invite sleep in like an old friend returning after a long time. And the best part, you don't need to change everything at once. Just pick one food that suits you, use it consistently every evening, and observe how your body responds. Maybe it's a kiwi, maybe a warm cup of chamomile tea, maybe a handful of gentle almonds. Whatever your body responds to best. In the next sections, we'll explore 7 specific foods that can significantly improve sleep in older adults, not through tricks or weird formulas, but through a balance of science, nature's simplicity, and your own gentle persistence. If you've ever tossed and turned at night or woken up exhausted without knowing why, drop a number 1 so I know you're here. I'd love to walk with you on this journey to rediscovering natural sleep, something often forgotten amid the worries of aging. If there's one small, humble fruit that has the power to completely transform your sleep, it's the kiwi. Small, vibrant green with a sweet, tangy taste, kiwi might seem like nothing more than a simple dessert. But beneath its fuzzy skin lies a powerhouse of nutrients elements that can bring you back to the deep, natural, restful sleep you once knew in your younger days. The story begins with a quiet study conducted in Taiwan a few years ago. A group of scientists invited older adults struggling with chronic insomnia. Some couldn't fall asleep. Some woke up frequently. Some felt drained despite sleeping to participate in a simple experiment. Each person ate 2 kiwis about 1 hour before bedtime every night for a month. The result? Nearly 80% of participants reported falling asleep more easily, sleeping more soundly, waking up less often, and most importantly, feeling energized again upon waking. No medication, no drastic lifestyle change, just kiwi. So what makes such a tiny fruit so powerful? The answer lies inside the kiwi, where 3 golden elements for sleep converge. First, kiwi contains natural melatonin, a biological hormone our bodies produce at night to regulate the sleep-wake cycle. When we're young, melatonin flows abundantly, making it easy to drift into sleep. But as we age, melatonin levels drop, and sleep becomes elusive. Kiwi provides a gentle boost of this hormone, helping your body return to its natural rhythm. Second, kiwi is rich in serotonin, a neurotransmitter that calms the mind, reduces anxiety, and serves as a precursor for melatonin production. In other words, serotonin paves the way, and melatonin takes you to sleep. Kiwi contains both. Third, kiwi is packed with folate, an often overlooked nutrient, especially vital for older adults. Folate not only supports heart health, but also stabilizes mood, balances the nervous system, and reduces anxiety, a silent culprit behind many sleepless nights. But kiwi's power isn't just in science, it's in the experience. Picture a peaceful evening. After dinner, you rinse 2 kiwis, slice or peel them. You sit down in soft lighting, no TV, no phone. You take slow bites, savoring the cooling freshness, the gentle tanginess melting into sweetness on your tongue. Your body begins to unwind. Your mind softens. And an hour later, you're in bed, not fighting for sleep, not watching the clock. Sleep just arrives. In a world where sleeping pills are a go-to shortcut, often offering nothing more than a few borrowed hours, kiwi stands as a quiet reminder. Your body still knows how to sleep if you simply give it the right nutrients at the right time, in the right way. I once met Helen, a 74-year-old woman living in Oregon, USA. She told me she had struggled with insomnia for nearly a decade. Tried pills, meditation, music, counting sheep. Nothing lasted until her daughter, a nutritionist, said, "Mom, try eating kiwi every night." Don't overthink it, just eat the kiwi and go to bed. Helen chuckled. She didn't believe it at first, but she did it. After 1 week, she began falling asleep easier. 2 weeks in, she was sleeping 6 uninterrupted hours. By the end of the month, she was waking up at 6 a.m., going for morning walks like she did when she was 60. Her story isn't a miracle. It's proof that our bodies can heal if we treat them gently and feed them what they need. Of course, kiwi isn't a magic pill. You won't fall asleep instantly after one fruit. But if you're battling sleeplessness and seeking a soft, natural solution, kiwi is a beautiful place to begin. You can eat it fresh or dice it into plain yogurt. Some enjoy blending kiwi with banana and a bit of plant milk, delicious and soothing. Others simply peel, slice, and eat quietly under a warm golden lamp. The key is creating a habit, a calming evening ritual. Over time, kiwi will work its gentle magic. And the most important part, give your body time to adapt. Don't expect miracles overnight. Trust the process and be patient. Because sleep, like an old friend long unseen, needs a sincere invitation, not urgency, not pressure. And sometimes that invitation comes from a kiwi, small, modest, but tender enough to reach the deepest corners of the sleep you've long wished for. If you're struggling with sleep and ready to try something simple, start with kiwi. And if you've already used kiwi to improve your sleep, share your story in the comments or just leave a number 2 to let me know you're walking this path with me. There are nights when you can't sleep, not because you're not tired enough, but because your mind feels like a clock ticking out of sync. Even when your body is ready to rest, your thoughts refuse to quiet down. You lie there, eyes open in the dark, listening to the ticking of the clock, counting your breaths, hoping sleep will come. But the more you wait, the farther it drifts away. In moments like these, many turn to sleeping pills. A small tablet, swallowed quickly, with fast results but followed by dependency, morning grogginess, and a weary cycle that leads nowhere. There's another way, no pills, no complicated meditation or breathing techniques, just Tart cherry. This deep red, small, tangy fruit, it isn't your typical sweet supermarket cherry. Tart cherries contain significantly higher levels of natural melatonin, the very hormone your body uses to signal that it's time to sleep. When you're younger, your body produces melatonin easily each night. But as you age, that production slows down. The result? You no longer feel naturally sleepy. You lie in bed, wanting to rest, but your body hasn't gotten the signal yet. Tart cherries gently tap the nervous system, whispering, "It's time to rest." They don't force sleep. They're not addictive. They simply help your body remember what it used to do, sleep naturally, peacefully, deeply. Studies have shown that those who drink tart cherry juice regularly, especially in the evening, can increase their total sleep time by nearly 84 minutes per night. That's not wishful thinking. That's over an hour of deeper, uninterrupted rest. No middle-of-the-night restlessness. Just real restorative sleep. You might think, but I don't have tart cherries at home. In truth, this fruit is widely available in its pure juice form, unsweetened at import food stores, large supermarkets, or online. All you need is a small glass, about a 100 to 150 milliliters each evening, about an hour before bed. Take Edward, a 72-year-old man from Illinois. He used to wake up 3 or 4 times each night, not because of any clear illness, just an inability to fall back asleep. His daughter, a public health specialist, suggested tart cherry juice, so he started drinking it before his nightly reading routine. The first 2 weeks passed with no change, but in the 3rd week, something shifted. He began sleeping straight from 10 p.m. to nearly 5 a.m., something he hadn't done in 5 years. And that morning, he said something that moved his entire family. For the first time in a long while, I feel like myself again. Tart cherry's effect doesn't come fast like a drug. It arrives softly, steadily, and sustainably. It works by supporting your body's own biology, not by overriding it with chemicals. And tart cherry offers more than melatonin. It's packed with antioxidants, which help reduce inflammation, support heart health, and gently ease mild nervous tension. Older adults dealing with conditions like high blood pressure, arthritis, or mild sleep disorders, can all benefit from this fruit. If juice isn't your preference, you can try unsweetened dried tart cherries or tart cherry extract in capsule form, though you should consult a doctor before taking supplements. One important note: while effective, tart cherry juice should not be consumed right before bed. Drink it 45 minutes to an hour in advance to allow your body time to absorb and produce natural melatonin. And don't treat tart cherry as a miracle cure. No single fruit can fix sleep overnight. But when combined with consistent evening habits, dimming the lights early, avoiding screens before bed, keeping your bedroom quiet, you're rebuilding the ideal conditions for restful sleep. Think about this. Sleep doesn't have to be a battle. It can become a gentle flow again if you learn how to create space for it to happen. And tart cherry can be part of that flow. If you've struggled to fall back asleep after waking in the night, if you wake up every morning feeling just as tired as when you went to bed, why not try a small glass of tart cherry juice each night for a week? You've got nothing to lose, but you might just regain something priceless. The feeling of truly restful sleep, not forced, not drugged, but naturally restored by a body that remembers how. If you found this helpful, leave a number 3 so I know you're with me on this journey to reclaim natural sleep. And if you've ever tried tart cherry or are thinking about it, share your experience. Your story might help someone else sleep better tonight. There's a kind of nighttime awakening that doesn't just steal your sleep, it lingers as a quiet, gnawing anxiety that follows you into the morning. It's not caused by nightmares or outside noise. It's that sudden jolt, a cramp in your calf or foot, that seizes your muscles with pain, forcing you to sit up, massage, and pace in the dark. You wince, clench your teeth, sigh. And when the pain finally fades, you return to bed, but sleep is nowhere to be found. If you've ever experienced that, you know it's not just a physical symptom. It's a small cut into an already fragile sleep rhythm, especially in older adults. The more nights interrupted this way, the more exhausted you feel, and the more helpless you become in preserving something that once came so easily, a good night's sleep. Among the many ways to improve this, there's one humble option sitting right on your dining table: the banana. Bananas are so familiar they're often overlooked, but they're actually one of the gentlest, natural remedies for older adults struggling with sleep, especially to those who suffer from nighttime leg cramps, restlessness, or tension that prevents full relaxation. The reason lies in the banana's composition, a delicate trio of magnesium, potassium, and tryptophan, 3 nutrients essential for relaxing muscles, calming the nervous system, and promoting the body's sleep hormone production. Magnesium acts like a natural tranquilizer for muscles, preventing stiffness from staying in the same position too long. When magnesium is low, Nerve signals misfire and can trigger involuntary contractions, what you know as cramps. Potassium, a key mineral, helps balance electrolytes and stabilize muscle cell function. When potassium drops, muscles become hypersensitive and prone to spasms, especially during long periods of stillness at night. And most importantly, bananas contain tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body produce both serotonin and melatonin. Serotonin soothes the nervous system, promoting calmness. Melatonin is the switch that tells your body it's time to rest. When all three are present in a single banana, you don't just get natural energy, you get gentle, internal soothing. Soothing without pills, without dependency, without side effects. Take the example of Joyce, a 76-year-old woman from Kansas. Once an active woman, she found her sleep disrupted after retirement. Every night she woke up at least once with calf spasms. Her doctor found no major illness, just a mild mineral deficiency. Instead of supplements, her daughter, a yoga instructor, suggested something simple. Eat one ripe banana each evening with a bit of peanut butter and a glass of warm water. That's it, nothing more. After 2 weeks, Joyce smiled and said, "I can't even remember the last time I woke up from a cramp." And not only did the cramps disappear, she also began falling asleep more easily. A gentle shift, steady, sustainable, and pressure-free. You can try the same. If you often wake up with calf cramps, if your body feels tight or joints ache after lying down too long, or if you simply struggle to unwind before sleep, try a banana. Eat it plain or slice it over a bowl of cereal. Some like to blend banana with warm plant-based milk or spread it on whole grain toast with a bit of unsweetened peanut butter. However you choose, the key is timing. Eat it about 45 minutes to 1 hour before bed, giving your body time to absorb and begin hormone production. And like the other sleep-supporting foods we've discussed, a banana isn't a drug. It doesn't deliver instant results. But if you're patient, if you care enough to try one small change, this simple fruit could become the gentle doorway to deeper sleep. Remember, the aging body doesn't demand much. It just needs understanding, regular care, and daily kindness. A banana isn't a grand gesture, but when you eat it with intention, you're telling your body, "I hear you. I'm not forcing you to sleep. I'm creating the space for you to sleep naturally." If you're looking for a gentle shift in your sleep, if you've ever been woken up by a cramp, or just feel your body has trouble relaxing at night, leave a number 4 to let me know you're here. And try tonight. Just one ripe banana in a peaceful state of mind. There's a feeling that many people begin to notice after turning 60, a subtle mental fog. Names once so familiar now seem to slip away. Mid-sentence, you forget what you were about to say. And at night, when your body is ready for rest, your mind continues to spin in circles, tangled in unclear thoughts. Sleep comes and goes like a stranger you never truly knew. For years, people believed sleep and memory were separate matters. But science now makes it clear. The brain and sleep are two sides of the same mirror. The deeper you sleep, the more your brain is cleansed and restored. The more mentally clear you are, the easier sleep comes. And at the center of that connection are healthy fats the brain needs to function properly. One of the best sources? The walnut. Picture a walnut shaped like a miniature brain. It's no coincidence nature designed it that way. Inside each half lies a treasure trove of unsaturated fats, omega-3 fatty acids, and powerful antioxidants, all working together to protect brain function, balance emotions, and most importantly, support deep, natural, and stable sleep. One key reason older adults often struggle with sleep is the decline in melatonin, the hormone that regulates the sleep-wake cycle. But few people realize the body can only produce melatonin effectively when the brain is properly nourished, especially with omega-3 and tryptophan, two nutrients abundantly found in walnuts. Omega-3 reduces low-grade inflammation in the brain, improves neural communication, and stabilizes regions associated with emotion, which are often disturbed during anxiety, insomnia, or nighttime restlessness. Meanwhile, tryptophan acts as the raw material for serotonin and eventually melatonin, both vital for a calm mind and natural drowsiness. Imagine someone over 70 waking up in the middle of the night, Not from noise or pain, but because the mind won't shut off. Thoughts they thought were laid to rest quietly return, about their children, their health, things left unsaid, things left undone. It's a kind of unnamed wakefulness, yet one that feels oddly familiar. Martin, a retired teacher from Colorado, is a quiet but powerful example. "I don't know when I started losing sleep," he said. "I just remember waking up every morning exhausted. In my memory, it felt fuzzy. I'd have to check what I wrote 2 or 3 times." His daughter, a nutritionist, didn't prescribe pills or supplements. She simply said, "Dad, try a handful of walnuts before bed. Don't expect miracles. Just make it a habit." And he did. At first, 3 pieces, then 5, then 8. About an hour after dinner, he'd sit down with a book and snack on walnuts, a small ritual to quiet himself. After 3 weeks, he began sleeping uninterrupted from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. No jolts, no dreams. "It's like my brain is wrapped in a soft pillow," he said. "No more noise inside. Nothing dramatic, just a simple nut, but one that holds within it the power to restore both memory and rest." For older adults, walnuts do more than just improve sleep. They also help preserve memory, reduce the risk of cognitive decline, and support stable blood sugar and blood pressure factors that deeply affect sleep quality in the long term. You can enjoy walnuts in many ways. Snack on them whole after dinner. Crush and sprinkle them on unsweetened yogurt. Stir them into warm evening oatmeal. However you choose, the key is consistency. Create a small ritual, a signal to the body that it's time to wind down, and you don't need a large amount. Just a small handful, around 5 to 8 halves, is enough for your body to absorb. Take it slow. Let the walnuts do their work, just as nature intended, quietly, steadily. Some people worry about fat, but the fats in walnuts are the kind that think. They don't build up as fat or cause weight gain when consumed moderately. Instead, they go where they're needed, to your brain, your heart, the parts of your body that need healing. If you've ever found yourself waking in the night for no clear reason, if your memory feels less sharp than before, if you long for deeper sleep without relying on medication, try walnuts. And if you've tried them already, stay with it. Sleep in old age is like a garden. It needs daily watering, gentle tending. It cannot be rushed, and it must not be neglected. A small habit, a soft shift, can become the foundation for better nights and clearer days. Try starting tonight by placing a small dish beside your bedside book and with a few shelled walnuts. No need to overthink it. Just be sincere. If this story resonates with you, if you're on the journey to rediscover natural sleep, leave a number 5 so I know we're walking this path together. And if you've tried walnuts before, share your thoughts, because what you say might help someone else sleep more peacefully tonight. There's a kind of exhaustion that doesn't live in the body, it lives in the mind. It's not the kind that makes you collapse after a long, hard day. It's the kind that leaves you lying in bed, heart still racing, thoughts still spinning, while sleep drifts away like a breeze through the window, here for a second, then gone. For many older adults, sleep becomes difficult not because of physical pain, but because the spirit isn't at rest. Maybe you felt it too, that moment when everything is turned off, the lights are dimmed, the blanket is warm, and yet your mind won't quiet. Faint worries about your children, memories tangled between yesterday and today, questions without answers, answered only by a quiet sigh. In those moments, instead of forcing sleep, perhaps what we need is a pause, a gentle ritual to soothe the inner self. And chamomile tea, that pale golden drink with a subtle floral scent, might be the soft invitation you've been searching for. Chamomile tea isn't a stranger. You've likely seen it on store shelves or sipped it at a cozy cafe. But few realize that behind its delicate appearance lies a quiet strength capable of calming the mind, easing tension, steadying breath, and most of all, improving the quality of sleep naturally, without pressure. What makes chamomile so effective is a compound hidden within its tiny petals called apigenin. Apigenin is a flavonoid, a plant-based compound that binds to GABA receptors in the brain, reducing excessive neural activity and inviting a sense of calm. It doesn't hypnotize you, it doesn't knock you out. It simply opens a quiet space within your thoughts, where sleep can arrive without resistance. You don't need to understand the chemistry. You only need to know this. A cup of chamomile tea can slow the spinning wheels in your head, like someone gently resting a hand on your shoulder saying, "It's okay now, it's time to rest." Clara, age 78, a retired elementary school teacher, once said she didn't suffer insomnia because of illness, but because of longing. Since her husband passed away, nights had become uneasy. The house feels too quiet. When I lie down, I remember him. The meals, the arguments, the way he'd walk past the room. I don't cry, but my heart isn't at peace. I just lie there, staring at the ceiling until morning. Her daughter brought her a box of chamomile tea and said, "Try it, Mom. Don't drink it to sleep. Drink it as a habit, not to forget, but to soothe." And so she did. Each night after dinner, she'd boil a small kettle of water. She'd pour it into an old porcelain cup one her husband used to drink from and drop in a chamomile tea bag. The scent slowly filled the room like something warm returning. She sipped slowly, no rush, not expecting sleep, just being with herself. After a week, she noticed fewer restless nights. 2 weeks in, she was sleeping 5 hours straight. A month later, she said, "I still miss him, but now I miss him in peace, not in worry. And I can sleep because I'm no longer fighting the night." Chamomile tea won't erase your sorrow, but it can help you carry it with strength so you can still sleep. Not by forgetting, but by accepting and softening. You can enjoy chamomile tea in many ways. If you use tea bags, choose ones without added flavoring. If possible, find loose, dried flowers, small, golden with a scent like honey. Each evening, bring water to a gentle boil. Add a spoonful of dried chamomile, cover and steep for 5 to 10 minutes. Pour into a cup and sip while warm. Drink in a quiet space with soft lighting. No phone, no television, just you, your tea, and your slower breath. This isn't a sleep hack. It's an invitation to return to yourself before sleep arrives. If you're prone to anxiety, overthinking before bed, or waking up from dreams with no name, try adding chamomile tea to your evening ritual. Don't treat it like a trick. Treat it like a practice, a space where you are allowed to let go. And if you're concerned about blood pressure or digestion, chamomile is even more fitting. It contains no caffeine, doesn't overstimulate, doesn't raise your heart rate. On the contrary, it gently lowers blood pressure, eases inflammation, and supports digestion, all of which contribute to a more peaceful night. You don't need to wait for insomnia to drink chamomile tea. You can start even when your sleep is still steady as a way to protect it. Because once sleep is disturbed, it's hard to bring back. But if you care for it early with small things like a cup of tea, you're building soft pillow from within. If you can't sleep tonight, or if you simply want a quiet moment before bed, brew a cup of chamomile tea. Don't expect anything grand, just sip and sit. Your body will understand, and in time, so will you. If you've tried chamomile and felt a difference, share your story in the comments. If you haven't but want to start today, leave a number 6 so I know you're here, walking with me on the path back to deep, natural rest. There are things so small we often overlook them. A gentle gaze, a soft squeeze of the hand, a timely question of care, and even a handful of almonds, seemingly just a simple snack, can become the key for older adults to rediscover the restful sleep they've been missing for so long. You might be surprised to learn that almonds, those crunchy, mildly nutty bites, often known for their energy-boosting properties, are actually among the most effective natural foods for supporting sleep in older adults. And not just falling asleep faster, almonds can help you sleep more deeply, wake less frequently, and feel more refreshed when morning comes. The reason lies inside each small nut, a storehouse of valuable nutrients. Magnesium, melatonin, and healthy fats. Magnesium, a mineral often overlooked, is a quiet but essential regulator of the nervous system. It helps relax muscles and guides the body into a state of deep rest. When you're low on magnesium, which is quite common after age 60, you may find yourself more irritable, more prone to sudden awakenings, or simply unable to shut down at night, even when you desperately want to sleep. Melatonin, on the other hand, is the hormone that tells your body when it's time to sleep. When we're younger, melatonin is produced steadily, on time. But as we age, that production slows. Almonds, in a natural and gentle way, Provide a small dose of melatonin, enough to support your body's rhythms without forcing it, without dependence, unlike sleeping pills. And then there's tryptophan, a precursor to serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for creating calm, reducing stress, and regulating mood. In essence, eating almonds before bed doesn't just relax the body, it soothes the mind, the very thing that often keeps older adults from sleeping soundly. Have you ever woken in the middle of the night with your heart racing, as though you just lived through a stressful dream, or felt something unresolved churning in your chest? That feeling is real, not because you're weak, but because your nervous system is sounding the alarm. And sometimes the comfort it seeks can come from something simple. A few almonds. Take Nancy, age 81, from Oregon. She had no major illnesses, ate well, walked daily, but her sleep was never complete. She'd sleep for about 3 hours, then wake. No dreams, no pain, just awake and unable to fall back asleep. One day during a church gathering, a friend suggested almonds. Try eating 6 to 8 almonds each night about an hour before bed, they said. Don't expect much, just try it as a small change. So she did. Without pressure, without hope, she ate them quietly, like a whispered prayer for a peaceful night. 2 weeks later, she said, I still wake up sometimes, but I'm not anxious. I close my eyes and I fall back asleep easily. Sleep isn't a battle anymore. A month later, she was sleeping 5 hours straight. For someone 81 years old, that felt more precious than any magic cure. Science calls it circadian rhythm restoration.